So what is up, diecast collectors? This is OBB, the diecast news guy, and welcome everybody to another NASCAR diecast review provided by my good friends at Circle B Diecast. Make sure to use that promo code OBBYT to get that $6 off the shipping on your latest purchase of $30 or more. And today I hope you guys are ready to get your trucking boots up and running, because we are going to be talking about Ben Rhodes' 2023 Campers in an RV's Ford F-150 for ThorSport Racing. But as you guys can see, that this is the first time we ever got a Truck Series race winning diecast with confetti on it. And you guys can see that this is the long-awaited Charlotte win that finally has now hit the shelves at your local diecast dealers or at Circle B Diecast. But yeah, what a pretty unique looking paint scheme that's finally has been released. I mean, it's almost been like a year since this race has actually, been on air. So, but better late than never. But let's go ahead and start off the diecast review, the official unboxing of your two-time Truck Series champion, Ben Rhodes, in this number 99 Campers in an RV Ford F-150. And alrighty, Truck Series lovers, we got this diecast out of its box, and I think you guys are really gonna be in for one hell of a treat, because not only this diecast looks like a good treat, well, probably don't recommend eating it, but this is a really unique looking paint scheme that we got for Ben Rhodes. I mean, of course, anybody who's a big fan of that Kubota orange paint scheme, then this one right here might look very familiar, but on camera it's not really showing it too well. But there are two different types of oranges that are on this car. So you got this day-glow orange right here, which is basically part of the base paint scheme, and then in between that you got like a little bit of I don't know, I guess you want to call this like a darker orange, like a American orange or something, if I had to describe it. But you guys can see right here, of course, with the 1/64 scale diecast, since we do have the universal mold, which, this is the same mold that they use for all three manufacturers in the Truck Series. You're going to have some decals that unfortunately aren't going to be lined up just as well. It's a hit or miss when it comes to these Ford F-150 cars, or I'm sorry, trucks. But yeah, another thing I also probably want to point out with the elephant in the room is that it almost looks like this confetti is about the same confetti color variation that we got on the Kyle Busch 3-sheet car, which probably I'm going to be uploading that video the day after this, because kind of appropriate since, ironically, Ben Rhodes is actually driving this car at the Atlanta race, as I'm literally reviewing this truck right before or after the Atlanta truck race. So, yeah, congrats to Kyle Busch. But yeah, I mean, this is a really cool looking car that I was not expecting to actually make it look this good. But I got to give Lionel some big props for actually adding the confetti detail on the windshield. I mean, I thought that was only going to be something that they were going to add in the Cup Series, but no, we even got it in the Xfinity cars as well. Even in the newest Winter Circle wave as well. So loving that Lionel's actually, I don't know, making these things, I don't know, worth the $11 price range, but would say it's a lot better than the overpriced, hunks of plastic that we got on the 1/24 scale diecast. So, heck, man, having this much detail on a 1/64 scale diecast, I don't really consider it as as a toy car anymore. I mean, heck, this is about the same detail that you can get on a 1/24 scale diecast. But how appropriate of Ben Rhodes to actually not only race in a orange truck again, but ironically, if you guys know that Craftsman Truck Series was not the original sponsor for the Truck Series, it was Camping World. So I find it funny that he's got a sponsor that's called Campers in RVs. So kind of a little bit of a callback to that. But if you guys are ever curious of how Lionel Racing actually makes these how a race win diecast is actually made, I would check out their various social media accounts, because they actually have some nice little short form video content that tells you guys how the race winning diecasts are made. Plus, I know I'm wearing gloves, but if you guys can tell that the windshield has a nice little texture to it. So, but again, thank you, Lionel, for giving us this detail. It's pretty cool. But one detail that I am probably actually, you know what? It actually looks pretty good. For the first time ever, I actually do. Never mind. That looks like a bunch of mumbo jumbo. But the problem I have with some of these NASCAR salute cars with the patriotic schemes is that the honor and remember tires, I mean, looking at this right here, it looks like it's pretty legible, but usually when it comes to the Cups or the Xfinity diecast, they are very blurry and very pixelated. I'll have to probably mention that when we review the Tyler Reddick Jordan brand car, but I'm glad to see that looks like it's a little bit better, but considering it is a race version diecast. But speaking of that, let's look at the fine details of this race winning car. Truck. But we do got some decal wrapping that looks like it's shriveling up. So I guess they used too much of the I don't know, the heat gun when they applied the decal process on that. But like I said, man, I like the Xfinity, the Craftsman banner up on top. The red kind of threw me off because, you know, red used to be the color for Xfinity series. But we got Tenda, some nice rubber buildup right there. You see the rivets right there on the side skirt. Really nice, cool detail. And again, just the different shades of orange actually makes this car or truck look pretty darn good, even though that Ford F-150 grill does look pretty goofy, but there's all the fine details, and you see all the dirt and grime that are on this truck. Some more detail right there on the side, and what's even cool about these truck diecasts is that they have no passenger side windshields, so you can actually see all the detail in there, which is pretty cool. That's usually rare to see detail on a 1/64 scale diecast, unless you're NASCAR Authentics. I see some more nice race marks right there. Really cool. I mean, we do got like this weird outline where the contingencies are, which we have seen that in the past with some of the Menards cars. And this side, well, it doesn't have any sponsors, but boy, oh boy, good placement for the confetti. And I think there's even some detail and some logos that are right here on the spoiler, which I believe that says the trip presented by Craftsman and ThorSport. And of course, that bright yellow ThorSport logo right there on the, on one of the pillars. Can't really say C pillar because there is no C pillar. You just got A and B. But it's just me or just this number looks a little tiny compared to what we usually have, which, by the way, let's go and start this side-by-side comparison of the Kubota truck from a few years ago, which you can definitely tell it's showing its age because ThorSport used to have Toyota, they've been constantly going back and forth between Toyota and Ford, and feel free to comment below if you guys actually like Toyota or Ford with the ThorSport racing organization, but you see what I mean, just the number is a lot more huger, even if that's a word to even describe this, but yeah, I mean, it still was pretty cool that this is the second time we got a Ben Rhodes diecast produced, even though one is not a raced version, and the other one is, well, ironically, the sponsor that he won his second Truck Series Championship with, so I find that pretty cool. But, yeah, if you guys are at the Atlanta Motor Speedway race, be sure to be on the lookout for this truck, even though it didn't really have the best run in it, but still is probably a diecast I would recommend picking up. In my opinion, by far, probably the best looking truck that we got on the 1/64 scale. And probably the one only time that we are going to get a Truck Series diecast produced in the Gold Series. But we might see this in NASCAR Authentics in a future wave for winner circles. But feel free to comment below what you guys what else you guys have to say, as this is going to wrap up the diecast review of the Ben Rhodes 2023 Campers in an RV Ford F-150 for ThorSport Racing, the Charlotte Raced winning diecast. But yeah, this has been OBB, the Diecast News Guy. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you campers in another diecast review.